How humility leads to success. What do the Dalai Lama, Oprah Winfrey, and Mother Teresa all have in common? They have humility. Something we can all cultivate is humility, and it actually leads to our greatest success. Humility is often overlooked when it comes to thinking of somebody who is successful because it is one of those traits that people think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Humility is one of the greatest traits anybody can have. I'm excited to share some of these examples with you as to how you can cultivate your humility in order to grow your strength and success as a leader. Some people might say that being humble or having humility is not an assertive way of leading, or that humility means somebody is weak. Let's talk about some of the most successful people who lead with humility. First of all, Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was always known for putting people ahead of himself. He was a great leader who listened to everybody around him, but then stood firm in his convictions. He remains a great example of great humility in leadership. Then there was Mother Teresa. She dedicated her life to serving others in full humility in Calcutta. She saw their needs as more important than hers. She chose to live at their level in order to serve them. How about the leadership of Jesus Christ, the most humble leader in the history of the world? Here's somebody who now has billions of followers because of his humility. He founded world-changing faith and doctrine that helped so many people through so many years now that he's one of the greatest figures in the history of the world. There is a science behind humility. In Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, he talks about the humble leader. He says a great leader is somebody who blends humility with an extreme will to get things done. They did 5 years of research on the greatest leaders in the world at the time of the book, Good to Great, being written. He actually found something he was surprised about. He thought that the leaders would have to have a huge ego in order to make a company be successful. In other words, he discovered that humility was the driving factor to creating a great company, culture, and leadership. Let's talk about the signature moves of humble leaders. Warren Buffett, what sets him apart is that he has openness and extreme knowledge. His signature move is he's known for listening to everybody's opinions. All of his employees have something to say. He will always be there ready to listen. And his promise is providing clear and sound investment advice. How about Oprah Winfrey? Yes, how does she lead with humility? She uses her platform to lift others. Some of the most amazing stories we've ever heard have come from her TV show and her work. Her signature move is genuine empathy and curiosity while other people are speaking in her interviews. And her promise is to inspire other people to live their best lives. How about the Dalai Lama? What sets him apart? He's a global symbol for peace and modesty. His signature move is advocacy for dialogue over confrontation. His promise is compassion as a means for conflict resolution. All of these people have unique signature moves. Some of their signature moves are known as their humility, and that's created their success as a leader. What I'd love for you to do is in the comments below, please comment who is a great humble leader. Please share someone that we haven't talked about yet in this video, and I look forward to seeing who you're talking about and consider a great humble leader. Let's talk about how to cultivate humility in your leadership. First of all, it comes down to self-awareness. This is important because awareness allows us to see what we're good at, see what we can improve upon, and listen to what everyone else has to say. In order to have humility in our leadership, we need to be that type of approachable person who listens. It's also great to have feedback loops where people can give us examples as to how they feel that we can improve as well. Gratitude fosters an attitude of recognizing the value of others. One of the best ways to foster gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. I would highly recommend you try this out if you haven't before. A gratitude journal practice is something that is very basic but very simple. In fact, this can be something that you do every single day, whether in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. For me, a gratitude journal is something that I do every single morning. I sit down on my couch, I have my specific drink, and I sit and write all that I'm grateful for. Another way of expressing gratitude is by thanking your employees and the people that you work with. And so writing notes, thanking them, reaching out in a text, even to your children, that's a great way as well. Because all of us have people that we interact with. Are we showing gratitude for the things that they do for us? The ways that they live their life as an example. There are many different ways to show humility through gratitude. Active listening is one of my favorites to work on myself. You see, years ago I had a really hard time taking feedback. I still struggle with it whenever it happens, but I think I'm getting better at it. I'm an active listener. You see, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And so when we listen to what other people say, that can help us to work on our own humility. You see, a lot of the time we can have an ego or pride in the things that we share or create, our performance. And yet I know that when I'm an active listener, it's actually helped me to become a better speaker, a better dad, a better leader, and especially when I get to listen to what people have to express for themselves. When you find yourself in a difficult situation, oftentimes it may be that we're speaking too much. We're sharing our opinions too much, whereas we could be listening to the greatness of others and their thoughts, their opinions, and that matters. What's powerful about the examples of some of the people I've talked about in this video is that humility actually is considered one of their signature moves. It's what they're known for. When I was working on putting this video together, I had to think, who is humble in leadership? Those were the first names that came to mind. That's what they're known for. The question is, what are your signature moves? How are you known for your humility and your leadership? All of us have an opportunity to better this. I'm going to give you a tool at the very end of this video that will help you with this process. I'll give you a couple of takeaway actions from this video that I know will be helpful for you becoming a more humble leader in all that you do. If you want to have success in humility, first of all, commit to learning something new every single day. Yes, everybody around us has something that they can teach us. It's when we stop listening, looking, being interested in what others have to say, and we start to think to ourselves, oh, I don't need to listen to that person at all. When we're humble, we listen and we see the greatness in others. We help them also to clarify that which they're great at. The next action I would recommend is to take 5 minutes a day to just simply sit and consider for yourself the ways in which you can be more grateful. We've talked about the gratitude journal, and being grateful is something that is such a great practice. I recommend 5 minutes a day sitting and working on that practice. The third action I'd recommend you take is actively seeking feedback from the people you trust the most, be that your family, your employees, the people that you work with, or even the clients that you serve. When you do these types of actions, it creates and fosters humility in all that you do, and that will then soon become a hallmark and signature move that you're known for. I promised you in the middle of this video that I would give you something that's going to help you in your career, that's also going to help you foster humility in order to have more success. And so here's what I'm going to offer you that is going to absolutely change your life. I'd like to give you something called the ICM process. It's an assessment that's going to help you to realize greater success in your work and in your life. You want to go to icmprocess.com, and when you fill that form out, you're going to identify, clarify, and magnify more of your signature moves. The identify part is cool because this helps you identify for yourself what you're already good at. I'd also like you to fill in not just what you're already good at, but also what you aspire to. So aspiring to humility, listening better, being our best. Go take the ICM process at icmprocess.com, and I'm excited for you to ramp up your humility, which leads to your success.